Alright, today I'm going to run through a little preview of the Redskins-Packers matchup. Now, I don't normally do this if this is the first video of mine you're watching. I've lately been getting into some Packers breakdowns of games, what happened after the fact of the matchup, showing certain plays that were run, how they affected the game, what went on. But I've recently been requested to do some previews, so I'm going to give it a shot. Now, I didn't go back and watch a ton of Redskins film by any means. I kind of just went back to only the Colts game just to see some things. And, I'm not going to say this is exactly how the game's going to go or this is how the Redskins are going to play the Packers. I'm just mostly saying it's going to show some tendencies I saw that the Redskins had, how they looked like they played defense, and then plays that I saw the Colts run or little things they do that the Packers absolutely run and how I can see them using them going forward in this game. So, this very first play, let me walk through quickly. The Redskins defense. So, they played almost exclusively single high safety against the Colts, and the coverage was either man coverage or cover 3. But they basically just brought a safety down the box almost every single play. Tried to get them in third and long and blitz. They always blitz on third down. Third and short, third and long, anything. They pretty much almost exclusively blitz. So that's another thing that I noticed. I don't know that they'll do that against Aaron Rodgers, but they did do it against Andrew Luck, so I wouldn't be surprised. One thing I noticed this play, this is a run play. One thing that was really apparent in their tendencies was they were pretty concerned about sweep plays and route combinations of an underneath pattern outside. They basically didn't want they didn't want the Colts to sweep them to the outside. And what it ended up doing was giving a lot of inside play and distraction for the Colts. And so this play in particular, you saw they put Nyheim Hines as a sweep action, and it opens up a hole up the middle for him. And this is something we absolutely do run. Whether we put Randall Cobb in motion or honestly, I think we will probably take Marquez Valdez-Scantling or Equanimous St. Brown, because St. Brown did a lot of these sweep actions in the preseason just to flow that way. And it's not like Nyheim Hines has like a reputation in the league yet of being dangerous. Now, we all know he's a track runner. He runs a 4.443, so it's something the Redskins were aware of, even though the player hasn't busted on the scene. They're aware of his speed, which means they'll be aware of our rookie's speed. And so you absolutely probably see us run this play where we put teams in motion and try to run it up the middle. And, maybe one time if they're not respecting it, we hand it off. But I think the Redskins look throughout the whole game, they were worried about running backs getting to the outside of them and really overplayed that and allowed for other plays up the middle. Alright, so showing that play, I'm going to build off of what I just said and show this play. Now, this play is a crossing route, pick play essentially to Eric Ebron, but that's not what I want to point out in this play. So, this is the very next play after that run, and the Colts have lined up in trip. They've isolated Ebron outside, Hines down here. We've seen this from the Packers before already a lot this season, where we isolate Jimmy Graham over on one side and push everybody to this side. The only thing we do a little differently is put the running back on this side. But for purposes of what we see on this film, you might actually see where we do not line up our running back underneath of Graham, and we put him with, we don't run a lot of trips, but maybe we will for this. And so this play is really important because, again, it's another play where they bring the safety in the box and they run man. Watch what happens off the snap of the ball. So this linebacker is responsible for Hines. And first of all, watch, he doesn't even chip T.Y. Hilton at all. He immediately flows outside to cover this. And so when I said earlier that they're very aware of like a lot of route combinations and how they run and how teams are getting open these days, is basically, they either T.Y. Hilton splits out here as the receivers go up and pull everyone away, or they all run a route and the running back comes underneath. The Redskins almost entirely schemed to take away these easy passes and force other plays. And so that's fine. I mean, it's effective. But what I want to show is not this pick play, because I doubt we run this. And Luck ends up getting hit in this play. It's not a good look for us, and they don't want that. What I want you to notice off this man, though, is how they don't run a box zone or like a zone to man scheme where they see where who flows where and someone ends up taking the man. Watch, this defender is responsible for TY. This linebacker is responsible for running back, and this linebacker doesn't even want to bump TY. So look how this unfolds. What if TY was running a route out here? So you have one streak, you have TY running out, and a running back out here. This guy is smoked. And if Josh Norman were to slide down and take TY, then you just have this wide open. Now maybe he can drop back into this coverage, but if this guy is running straight up the field, this is wide open. And so this is something I see, but I don't see us running these crosses a ton if they're slow developing. I mean, I see us running some crosses, but I mostly see where we can put Randall Cobb down here in the backfield, or Ty Montgomery, just someone who's a receiver who makes them focus a little too hard on what we might be doing with that, and then hit them up here for a nice big play. Alright, so another play the Packers love to run, and they do it once or twice every single game, is they run the ball a little bit out of a run look and max protection, and regardless of whether it's successful or not, because they always plan to do this, which is the patented max protection play action, where they just they run a play action, they send two receivers deep. Now, the Colts ran this 2 times in this game, or at least from what I watched, and it was successful both times. And look here, you have Josh on the bottom of the screen, Josh Norman and T.Y. Hilton isolated against each other. Is just an easy completion. Expect to see this from the Packers. We run it every game, and it was successful every time they ran it against Washington, and I'm sure it'll be successful when Packers run it. Also, one more subtlety to it. I don't know if we'll do this, but notice how they move T.Y. Hilton. They motion him inside. They do this because it gives him space outside. So if Norman were to press or try to push him outside, he has plenty of space to work with, where he can either do an outside comeback route and have plenty of boundary and space to give Luck to throw the ball, or if he just runs deep and as he's running past Norman presses him, he can keep it outside. But we'll absolutely see this play on Sunday, and it's going to be Geronimo Allison outside and Devontae Adams, and one or both of them are going to have big catches from this. And here's another play. This is a 3rd down, and this is what I was saying about how they blitz pretty much every 3rd down. But what I just wanted to point out was up here, T.Y. Hilton. They actually left T.Y. Hilton one-on-one, all alone, and they blitzed their linebackers. So deep and middle of the field's wide open. Now, the route, T.Y. Hilton runs a dig route. I don't know if that's his bread and butter necessarily, but that is something Devontae Adams can run very well, and he will destroy that coverage. And this play ends up being picked, but I skipped too far ahead. On 3rd down again, when they like to blitz, if they're going to leave Packers receivers wide open one-on-one, they will absolutely beat this coverage. So look for that as well, and let's hope they decide to do this. Alright, I'm going to cap this video with the best play of them all, and that's this one. And this play is the summation of a lot of observations throughout the game the Colts made, essentially, that ended up being such a great play call on so many levels. And so let's start with the formation and the concepts I've already talked about. Tight end, single out by himself, running back far side. Now, if this is a run play, This is either going to be an inside zone or an outside zone. But again, the Redskins, like I mentioned earlier, were very aggressive towards playing the outside, playing outside zone, and taking a lot of that away. So the first element of this play is going to be a play action. And again, where the linebackers really like to sit middle in a lot of their pass plays, like really middle and not straight to the outside at all, this is something that is going to pull them out of their positioning and out of where they've been the whole game. The other element of this is the pass game. Now, this play is going to be a kind of a double slant because the actual slant where the pass comes to goes underneath of Ty to Ryan Grant. I don't really know. So the Packers don't run that. But one thing I know, if you're a Packers fan, you've watched every game, you've seen us run a slant flat combo where Cobb goes underneath, Davante Adams runs a slant over top, and we hit it. We started to do this against Chicago in the second half when we need to get going and get the ball over our hands quickly. We do this every game. It's just an extension of our run play, essentially, of our run game. But so this play is genius, and I guarantee you will see this on Sunday because we'll put Jimmy Graham or Lance Kendricks over here. We'll run this play action motion, clear these guys out of the way, and hit the pass for a nice short completion as an extension of our run game. And so I don't know that we'll have 3 receivers out there, but we are absolutely going to run this play. And so keep an eye out for that. And this kind of play and these kinds of formations are stuff I hope to see throughout the game, and you should expect to see, because this play is a staple. The slant flat combo is a staple of the Packers passing game. So as you can see, it'll work here. I mean, if they play double high safety on this, it just means we have even more space underneath, and if they were to jump it, we're just gonna send this slot guy up the middle for a big game. Alright, and so that kind of wraps up my preview of this game, what you can expect to see. Now, I'm not going to go into specific matchups, Davante Adams versus Josh Norman and all that. I think at this point, the NFL and the way teams play, the scheme is people can scheme matchups away so easily. Not that I don't think that'll happen. I mean, I genuinely think, Davante Adams and Josh Norman will go up against each other. Davante will destroy him. He doesn't look quite the same this season. But, I mean, the Packers can win outside matchups. Geronimo Allison has proven he can win. And he's not a burner. He'll win you deep anyways. He can beat the press. Davante Adams, same thing. But also in this video, I'm not going to get into the defensive side of the ball matchup-wise. Because, real quickly, this play right here is a max protection play action, and this time instead of running a comeback, they clear the safety out up high and then run a really deep dig route, post route. It's not a post, it's dig, but that's another thing Packers, I'm guarantee, will run this game quite a bit. But anyways, defensively, the Redskins aren't great offensively. I mean, they just have Chris Thompson and Jordan Reed. And so I think what you'll see is, and we have a great run defense, so if they try to run the ball, I mean, we're going to destroy that. And then passing, Jordan Reed, I think we're just going to put Josh Jackson on him. I think we'll put Tramon Williams and Devon House outside, and we'll put Josh Jackson on Jordan Reed, and then Chris Thompson. I think Orton Burks is going to be back, so hopefully he is. And against Chris Thompson, we'll either drop a safety down, like Clinton Dix or Kentrell Bryce for Chris Thompson, or Orton Burks. And then Jair Alexander can cover Jamison Crowder. There might even be a time where we put Jair Alexander on Chris Thompson. But yeah, so defensively, I'm not so worried about their scheme. We're going to stop their run. And then I think Josh Jackson is such a perfect get. I think he'll be able to cover Jordan Reed. And then Alexander is a great cover corner from the nickel position, and I think he'll do a fine job. But so from defensive scheme, I'm not going to get into what we'll do and their tendencies. I just wanted to show offensively. So hopefully this video is kind of what you know find kind of neat from what you requested. If there's anything more you want to get into or some a different way you want me to do it, just leave it in the comments and I'll try to get back to that later. But all right, so hopefully the Packers get a nice easy win this Sunday, and go Pack go. As always, thank you for watching this episode, and if you like my content and haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. I plan to be releasing videos as often as I possibly can, because ultimately I want to make a career out of this, whether it be self-supporting through YouTube videos like this, or something else happens, I get picked up somewhere along the way. And if you like my videos and want to support me financially to continue to do this as often as I possibly can, my Patreon account's up to the top right. And if there's anything that you want me to do a video of or explain or answer, just leave in the comment section and I will be sure to get a video out as soon as I can on that. And I just want to again thank you so much for your support, and moving forward hopefully this can become a good thing.